My name is Sarah Schuler, and this is Pearl. We've known each other for, as she squirms on me, we've known each other for about just over a year. I got her when she was 3 months old. Now she's a year and a half. So, and we're inseparable at this point. We live here in Venice. Well, actually, we wake up, probably around like 8 a.m., but she's not a morning dog. Actually, everybody calls her the hangover dog because I can never get her out of bed in the morning. But I take her down to the beach and we go for a jog in the mornings and let her get in trouble. And she tries to carry sticks that are always twice her size, which never works, but she thinks she's cool. So the way I got her, actually, I wanted a little Chihuahua named Pearl. Like, I knew I wanted the Chihuahua named Pearl. And actually, I found her on a breeder's website in Arizona, and I saw her picture, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, that's Pearl. And I got her, she flew out here. They put her on an airplane and flew her out to me, and I fell in love. I fell in love with her picture as soon as I saw her, though. And I was like, that's it. I'm like, she's Pearl. It was just her little eyes. And she was such a puppy, so her ears were still flopped down. And she's sitting on this little couch with her little stuffed toy, and she just had that look about her that she was just so fall in love with. And I did. I fell in love with her instantly. Brown that we look alike with our hair color. So, but we're both klutz. I always fall down, she always falls down. We walk into things, like, she's become like me in numerous ways. And she's a goofball, and she doesn't really like to listen that much. So she's adapted to be like me quite a bit, actually. I found myself sometimes when we go walking together, we both get that little attitude as we walk. That little prissy attitude when we get walking sometimes. Which I think I picked up from her. Because she likes to prance when she walks with this little attitude. And I'm like, oh, I'll get that attitude too. So I've picked up a few traits from her also. Actually, she loves Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its and wine. Which people are like, why do you feed your dog wine? But she likes wine, apparently. But besides her dog food, she eats everything. She's kind of a white girl. A little bit of red every now and then, but white wine mostly. Or a good Cosmo every now and then, too. So, honestly, actually, I think the scariest moment might have been yesterday when I was going out to my car and my roommate left the door open and she thought she was going to run. So she goes down the stairs and I see her going and she gets outside and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go down after her. And as soon as I opened the door, because it was cracked, and she's just looking out the door, knowing I'm coming behind her, and she took off running towards the main street. I about panicked. I mean, I was in tears almost. I'm like, oh my gosh, because one car, she's gone. And then I would be gone because I couldn't live without her. But it was really scary. I was terrified. But I got her. She's good. She actually, when we play, she has this really unique, growling sound. It sounds like a little rattle toy. It's not really like a dog growl. But it's really bizarre, actually, when she does it. So it's a different trait that I've never seen before in an animal. She loves toys. She likes the squeaky toys. She loves to play with. And she'll, if I'm busy and I can't really play that much with her at the moment, she'll squeak the toy to get my attention until I'll play with her. So she loves toys though, but she loves trash too, walking down the street, there's a piece of plastic, she'll pick it up. And she thinks that's the coolest toy ever. The biggest adventure would probably be, we fly a lot, because we have family in Florida and stuff, and I take her with me when I travel everywhere. So every time we get on an airplane, that's a big adventure for her, which turns into a big adventure for me trying to keep her in control. So she's crazy though. On the airplanes, one time I went to go to the bathroom and she thought it would be funny to run down the aisle after me. So here she comes just chasing me down the plane. I was like, oh gosh. But I think every day is an adventure with her. So it's always a new adventure every day. I like dog parks. We go sometimes, but for her it's like a giant humping fest. They all just hump her. So it's kind of bizarre. But she's not too fond of them, actually. She gets really annoyed at dog parks when the humans try to pick up the dog toys to throw them or something. She gets so pissed off, and she'll bark and go crazy at the people in the dog park. So she spends more time being the dog park security than she does playing. So we don't go to dog parks that often because of that. I mean, when we go walking, she's actually more fond of the big dogs. She thinks she's a big dog. So she tends to flock towards them. But I've noticed a lot of the owners in California are more crazy about their dogs than anything else in this world. So, she's being shy today. You know, I actually saw a sign the other day about you can't go down there, no dogs, like Saturdays and Sundays from this month to this month, and I think it's stupid. As long as they're on a leash, they should be allowed, I think. Because they're kind of like humans too, well, in my opinion. But the leash law, I mean, I always have her on a leash, no matter what. Just because I don't want anything to happen to her. I don't trust the other big dogs sometimes, because she's so small. So she's always on a leash. So I don't really know if I have thoughts on the leash law or not, you know? She's on a leash no matter what. I think if they're trained, they shouldn't have to be on a leash. But who really knows if they're trained or not? So, I mean, it's really, I guess it's the owner's discretion, maybe. So, yeah. Because she's fun to squeeze. And actually, when I squeeze her sometimes, I feel like her little eyes are going to bug out. But my nickname for her is Squirt when we get playing. No, I love you. She's adorable. She looks like an alien, though. Well, in my opinion. What I love about her. Like, every night she, like, sleeps kind of like this, next to me. Like, she has to be touching, which I like. So, she's like a little mini heater. She's fun to cuddle with. Why are you being shy? I think since I've gotten Pearl, I've become a little bit more, because she's kind of like a little, she's like a child almost. So we're more, you know, I have to be more like an adult to her and take care of her. But I also become more outdoorsy, which I like, because I have to take her out for walks and stuff. So she's made me become a more outdoor person, which is nice. A little bit more responsibility. All those good kind of things. Since I've gotten Pearl, actually, I've changed in different ways, like more responsibility, because she's like a little kid. So things like that, you know, I've changed quite a bit on, and also going outdoors more, having to take her for walks and stuff. So she's made me more aware about the environment, I guess you could say, because when we're out there, you know, I don't want anything of harm's way to get near her. So she's made me more aware of things like in nature and stuff too. If I were a dog, I think I'd probably, well, I would say a Chihuahua, but actually I think I'd be a Dalmatian. I think if I were a dog, I'd be a Dalmatian. Just because they're very, well, to me, I don't own one, but they seem just very like calm and, you know, headstrong and just secure and beautiful. So I think I'd be a Dalmatian if I had to be a dog.
Dalmatians are crazy. You know that?
Are they?
They're crazy.
Then I guess it fits, and I would have to be a Dalmatian if they're crazy. I guess that works then. I think the biggest misconception about dogs would have to be they think, you know, they're kind of mean creatures almost. Because you always hear the bad things about them, like a dog bit somebody or this or that. So things like that. I know a misconception about, you know, Chihuahuas especially. People think they're yappy little dogs and all they do is bark and shake all the time. And she's actually not shaking too bad, but she never barks. She's very laid back. She'll bark occasionally, but otherwise she's pretty laid back. But that's a big misconception people have about Chihuahuas, you know, especially is they're these yappy little nervous crazy dogs. And they're really not. They're really sweet. So a plus side about having a dog is no matter what, when you come home, they're so excited to see you. Which if you have a spouse or something, you can't always say it about them. But, for example, every time I come home, I've never seen her tail wag more. I mean, besides I walk in the door and she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, Mommy's home. So that's a good thing about having a dog. Which I know like sometimes cats aren't really like that. They're like, whatever, you're home. So that's probably my biggest plus side about it, is when I come home. She's so excited to see me. I love it. But they're great companions. They're really fun. And yeah, they won't leave you ever. So I like it. They're friendly. And they keep you warm at night. Don't you? It's a little bit of heat, but it's better than nothing. Yeah. Hi. Hi, baby. I love you. I love you. Why are you being shy? Why are you being shy? Oh, she sheds.
What's the biggest sacrifice you've made for your Pearl?
The biggest sacrifice I've made for Pearl. Oh my goodness. What would that be?
If any.
You know, I make a lot of sacrifices for Pearl. But it's like little things, you know, like, I'm blank.
That's fine.
We're blank today.
No,
I wish she could talk. She would be great at this.
Well, that's pretty much perfect. Is there anything that you'd
Well,
like to
actually, okay, wait. A big sacrifice I made, if this counts, was we were walking one time and a dog not on a leash, back to the leash thing, tried to run up and grab, like, you know, like ran towards her. And then she had the harness on, so I like yanked her up and I kind of got bit. So does that count as a sacrifice that I got bit instead of her? So I took the teeth and she was fine. So that was a good one.
You jumped in front of the bullet.
I did. Yes, we are. So is Pearl. So she thinks.
What kind of acting do you like to do?
I like to do more film, a little bit of television, but comedy. Love comedy. I'm such a dork. A little bit of drama. So. Normally she gets really annoyed when I do that, and she'll make the noise, but she won't do it today. She's like, Mom, don't touch me. You're messing my hair up. She's a little ham. But we love her. We love her. Is that it?
Yep.
Is that all you're gonna do? No noise today, huh? I like her legs. Look at this. People are gonna be like, wow, she abuses that dog. But I love her. I love you. I always have to kiss her. She's so kissable. I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, this is how we drive. I'll set my arm in the window and she has to look out like that. Because she's too short if she sits on the seat to see anything. And then she gets annoyed.